I don't know if you can hear that, but my cat is crying outside the door, and he is super fucking loud. Hi guys, it's Siva. I have not made a video for this channel in a long time, and the short story of that is that real life has been really crazy. So I was gonna do a video on my new computer build, which I built in November, and I still haven't done that, even though I recorded all the footage. Maybe I'll put some pictures over here so you can see at least what it looks like while I'm talking about. It's not super exciting unless you're really into RGB lighting, which most people are not. So I went to E3 this week, and I thought I would talk a little bit about that because it's gaming related. I know I tend to mostly make videos about the Blizzard games I play, but there hasn't been a whole lot going on in that. There was a new season in Diablo, cranked that out pretty fast. Mostly in WoW, I was working on the Season 2 achievements for Mythic Plus to get all of them at level 15, and we finished that. Not even raiding right now until 8.2, except on alts. And Overwatch I've been playing a little bit, but like that's kind of it lately. So yeah, but I wanted to make a video, and I thought I would make it about E3 because E3 was pretty fun. E3 is always pretty fun. I went on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which are the industry days. A lot of people have asked me about it. I did not go on Sunday and Monday. Sunday and Monday are generally for the big press conferences. They're generally only for press or people who are invited. So I didn't get to see like the Xbox or the Nintendo reveal or anything like that. But first, I think I'll show you all the swag that I got from the different games. So let's do that now. I apologize in advance for all the rustling because this bag is by the mic right now. First, I'm going to show you Borderlands stuff because honestly, the Borderlands swag was the coolest of all the swag we got in the lines for me. Okay, so first, when you get in line, get a little mask. That's just fun. The masks are actually fairly common. I think the last time I went to E3, I ended up with like 4 different masks when I came home. So yeah, first, really cool bag. Borderlands bag. The bags are pretty common. Final Fantasy gave those out also. Got my little pass lanyard. Those are obviously not for Borderlands in particular. So first, I will show you this. This is really, really awesome. So the thing that I really liked in particular about the Borderlands swag is it's mostly art-based. They gave you like art prints, which is really cool because a lot of places they'll give you like little knickknacks. Here's a pen, here's a sticker, and like, especially if you are industry and you tend to go to a lot of these events and stuff, like I don't need lanyard number 700. I mean, it's cool. I'll take the lanyard. I'll put it over here on my little lanyard dinosaur. But, you know, because I got from Xbox, I got another lanyard. But like, everybody has a million of those. So getting these art prints to me was really, really cool. Came in this big envelope. And then inside the envelope, if I can get them all out, we got these really, really awesome prints from the art. And frankly, like I would hang this shit on the wall here in my office. Sorry, the exposure is not super great. Right? These are cool. And you don't get stuff like that very often, and I like these. So I was really excited to get that in this nice envelope and with the bag. It was just really, really cool, and I was really impressed with that. So good job, Gearbox. So let's see. The little bracelet from stackup.org. I don't actually know what they do, and I have not gone to their website, but my coworker knew someone who worked at that booth, so I got one. Luigi's Mansion, we got a little flashlight. It's a pretty strong flashlight, but you know, you probably don't need flashlights. Also in the Borderlands thing, we got a little Vault Insider voucher. Scratch it off for points and stuff. The Insider program for, you know, character skins and things like that. I don't know, you register for it, you get points, you get free shit in game. for playing Pokemon, we got these pins of the new Pokemons. At least I think they're new, because that's sort of what they were banking on. And then for another game I played, we got another cool pin. So yeah, lots of various swag. Oh, at the Xbox building, they were giving free Game Pass months. You had to like answer trivia, or play game demos, or take a selfie on and tag them on Twitter or whatever. But basically, you earned free months of their new Game Pass. So that's pretty cool. That's the stuff I got for the stuff that I did. I did not play Cyberpunk, which I'm a little sad about. I wanted to check that one out, but the line was fucking ridiculous every day. I think on Thursday it was like 6 hours or something crazy, and it was capped. Like, no more people could get in line. And you didn't even get to actually play it. Supposedly, if you were in line and you got through, you just got to watch someone else play the demo. I don't even know if it's a game for me, but the trailers are really cool, so I kind of wanted to see it, but nope. I didn't play Final Fantasy. I know Final Fantasy is a very beloved franchise. I am not a Final Fantasy fan, so I wasn't interested in that. And of course, the line was very, very crowded. My coworker wanted to do it, but yeah, the line was capped again. So we didn't do that. They gave out really cool big bags, though, if you did get to play them. So obviously, I got to play Borderlands 3 twice. I got to play it once in the main building, which is where I got all the swag, and I got to play it again in the Xbox building. Game is really fun. In the main building, I played Mose, who is the gunner. She's really cool. She gets get in her like a mech suit, and you can augment the mech suit with various weapons. Like, you can have a grenade launcher on one side and a flamethrower on the other side, which, like, who isn't that their life dream, right? You can minigun that never has to reload, things like that. So that was pretty cool. And then the second time in the Xbox building, I played Amara, who is the Siren. So that was pretty cool. I was kind of interested in the Beastmaster guy. I thought he was like a sniper originally, but like you can summon cute critters to fight things. So I'm kind of interested in that. I know a lot of people aren't like super excited for Borderlands, but the Borderlands writing is hilarious and I really like it. And so even though I'm not a big FPS person, I'm pretty excited for that. Unfortunately, it sounds like for PC it's going to be through the Epic Store only, which I know is a whole other video unto itself. I like having my games consolidated, and so I would prefer if it was on Steam, but Epic has so many early releases and exclusives that I don't mind using it if the client was a little better done and I could actually wishlist things. But anyway, that's a whole other video. I won't go into that. So after Borderlands, we had an appointment for 2 Nintendo games, Luigi's Mansion, which is where I got the cool flashlight, and the Pokemon game. We did Luigi's Mansion first. We had our appointment on Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. I've actually never played the first 2 Luigi's Mansions. Supposedly the first one's really good, the second one's not very good. But it was really fun. It's a classic, basic Nintendo sort of game, you know, side-scroller, cartoon, fun. The controls were very easy. The gameplay was very simple. Definitely just a fun, casual couch game. I really enjoyed it. I don't have a Switch, but if I did, I would definitely buy the game. It was very enjoyable. So the second thing on Thursday is we had an appointment for the Pokemon game, which is where I got these. I have a confession to make. I have never played any Pokemon game ever. Not the card game, none of the game, not Pokemon Go. I've never seen the TV show. Basically, all I know about the game is you have critters and you fight other critters, and sort of a rock, paper, scissors sort of thing, and you can collect the Pokemons, and they're cute. And that would be about the extent of my knowledge. When Pokemon first came out and it was really popular, I was old enough that I was too old for Pokemon, but young enough that I thought there was such a thing as being too old for Pokemon, if you understand, right? I'm old now and I love video games, and I'm fine with that because I realize that I'm an adult and I can like whatever the fuck I want and I don't care what other people think. But I think I was like in high school maybe when Pokemon first came out, and so like, no, that's baby things. So I never got into it to begin with. My little brother was very much into it, but I never got into it. And so I've just never ended up trying it. And of course I'm not against it now. It's just never ended up trying it. So I told the guy when he took me in there, that I'd never played any Pokemon game ever, and of course he was very surprised, but he explained to me how it worked. And in the demo, again, it's a very simple game, but he had to tell me, like, oh, this is a grass Pokemon, and what counters it is a fire Pokemon. I actually don't know if that's true, but I think, maybe. So he told me kind of what Pokemons I should look at. Is it Pokemon? Is it Pokemons? I don't know. Anyway, he told me which ones to pick that had abilities to counter the other one, so he helped me out along, so I could play it and actually win. I know the new game is somewhat controversial. I've heard a lot of people online complaining that not all the Pokemons are going to be in it, but I think there's like 1 billion of them, so that seems very ambitious to expect them to all be in a game, especially a 3D style game. Like, I don't know realistically if the artists could do that. The other thing I've seen people complaining about is they have this ability in this game that I guess is new, where you can, for 3 turns, you can turn into like a giant Pokemon, and a lot of people seem very unhappy with that. I thought it was kind of fun, but again, I'm an outsider to the franchise, so maybe there's some sort of lore-related reason that it's dumb. But if you're looking at it from a purely gameplay perspective, like, it's kind of fun. It's like a short-term buff. You get to be big, and it looks cute. So, I liked that. So I'm sorry if that makes me, you know, controversial or something, but it was fun. So we also went to the Xbox building. My cousin gave me the tip to do that because he was also at E3. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even known it existed. I mean, except on an abstract level, because it's also not in the main convention center. It's like in a movie theater up by the Staples Center. So you wait in a line to get into the Xbox building, but once you're in there, the lines for everything are super short. And so you could try everything, and Ghost Recon and Gears and Borderlands and Halo. And they had a bunch of indie games. Oh, and they had the Lego racing game, which I did play. Funny story, and I'll put a picture of it like over here or something, but they had a McLaren made out of Legos there. Now, I really like McLarens. That's a car, by the way, if you're not a car dork. I really like McLarens. And so as soon as I saw the Lego McLaren, I'm like, oh my god, I want to get my picture taken in that. And they're like, well, you have to play the demo in order for us to take a picture of you in it. So I played the demo entirely for that, even though I hate racing games and I'm terrible at them. I was just so excited for it. And actually, kind of as a side story, there used to be a Lego McLaren at the Peterson Museum, which, by the way, is a very awesome car museum in Los Angeles. If you're ever in LA, you should definitely go, even if you're not into cars, because they have like movie cars and Hot Wheels, and they have a bunch of different stuff, a lot of history of LA, but a lot of really, really cool cars, rare cars, famous cars, stuff like that. It is a really, really cool museum, and I highly recommend you go. Anyway, I was there a few years ago, and they had a Lego McLaren there, and I thought it was the same one, but I looked it up, and it was actually a totally different one. So apparently Lego just has a thing with building McLarens. But anyway, they had one for this game, and if you demoed the game, you got to sit in it. So I demoed the game, and I got to sit in it. And the game was fun. You got to play as, at least in the demo, maybe in the live game, you'll get to play in a bunch of different stuff, but you got to race in a McLaren, and you got to race in like a Mini. And again, it was fun. I'm very bad at driving. In there, they had like a regular line where you could play with a controller, and they also had like a special line where you could sit in like a little makeshift car and it would actually move. It was not a car, it was just a chair, you know, with hydraulics and stuff. And I didn't wait in that line because it was longer. But so I got to try that, and that was fun. The only other thing I did in the Xbox building was I did Borderlands again, and that's the time that I played the Siren. And I did much better on her, and I actually beat the boss in the demo at the very end, because I was still not very good. I don't play shooters very often, and I definitely don't play them with a controller. I play them with a mouse and keyboard, where it is a million times easier to aim. I don't know how you people do it with the joystick. It was so hard for me, and I was kind of embarrassed for the lady who was standing behind me, who worked on the game and who was manning the line, watching me play, because, like, I'm sure she was like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady? Because I'm like, there's a guy in front of me, and I'm like, ground, sky, finally I get him and I kill him. But, like, yeah, I was not impressing anyone with my skills there, but I did kill the boss at the end finally, so good job. I have a theory that the game was getting progressively easier for me on the back end every time I died, but because, yeah, I don't think I deserved to win. But I did, and I got to play Borderlands again, so that was cool. The other thing I played in the Xbox building was it had, like, indie game setup, which was really, really cool, and I liked it. I play the game After Party. Now, the After Party is made by the people who made Oxenfree. If you've never played Oxenfree, which you probably should because you probably have it because it's been free on Twitch Prime. I think it's been free on the Epic Store before. It's been really, really cheap on Steam. It's been in a ton of bundles. Like, it's one of those games that I have thrown at me all the time, even though I already own it. It is a really, really fun game if you like story games and point-and-click games. One of my favorite games, definitely my favorite game the year that I played it. I really, really liked it. It's like sort of Stranger Things, the video game. And the people who made Oxenfree made this new game, After Party. And the premise of the game is really funny. You are in hell. I think you ended up there after a night of drinking and you don't remember how. I could be getting the details on the backstory a little wrong. But anyway, you're in hell, and the only way to get out of hell is to outdrink the devil. And so that's the premise of the game. And I only played it for a little bit, but it was really fun, and I really liked it. And it has the graphics that you would expect from that company, like Oxenfree, very colorful and bright and atmospheric, and I just liked it. And that's where I got this pin from, was for playing After Party. And After Party, like Borderlands, is going to be on the Epic Store, so yeah, another reason that I will have to be using Epic more. But that was really enjoyable. Also in indie games, because I like indie games, they had the Indiecade set up in the main room, which was where the different some of the indie games were set up. They had the Talking Simulator, which is, I think, made by the people who made Surgeon Simulator. It looked like it, which was hilarious and also very disturbing looking. You can probably look on YouTube for Talking Simulator video, because maybe I'll put a clip because I did record a little bit of it over here, something embedded. That game is disturbing as fuck, but yeah, it was funny. They had the Boyfriend Dungeon. I'll show that to you here. We were both very, very disappointed to discover that the Boyfriend Dungeon is not a dungeon where boyfriends of random and varying qualities drop, but just a regular dating sim. Although I'm reading the back of it now, it says the first bullet point is date beautiful weapons, from dancing swords to heart-piercing daggers. So you're dating the weapons and not the boyfriends. I don't really understand how it works. I'm not a dating sim person, but I do really want someone to make a action RPG dungeon crawler where boyfriends drop. I think that's a market that needs to be cornered by you. So someone please do that for me, because I will be very, very delighted. The other thing in the Indiecade that I loved was, I just have this little sticker here, and on the back it says Thorny Games, because they ran out of business cards, so I got this instead. They had some card tabletop style games, linguistic games, not even video games, based on language. So I'm sure already most of you have tuned out on this, and this is not something that interests a wide variety of people. It's kind of weird to have it at E3. But the games were, caught my eye immediately. Very interesting to me. The art is beautiful. If you are at all interested, go to their website, and they actually have a link to the artist's Twitter, and she has, so many cool things. Again, maybe I'll drop a little graphic of some of her art over here. But they have 3 games. The first one is, I don't remember the name of it. It's a sign language game based on Nicaraguan sign language. I don't know that, obviously. I do know American Sign Language. But the game was very interesting to me. And, the funds from it go to support Nicaraguan programs. So that's kind of cool. The other game is, I believe, called Dialect. And it's about how languages, change and die, I think. Again, card-based game. And then they have a new game that's coming out, I think, this year. I don't remember the name of that one either, but it's a cryptography style game. But all of them look really, really cool. In fact, the second I got home, I bought the 2 that were out already. And hopefully they'll be here soon, because I'm really excited about those. Even though, again, it's sort of a weird thing, a game made by linguists, but it sounds awesome. So I just want to talk about that, even though I know there's probably 0 of you watching that actually have any interest at all in that, but it was really cool. Last thing about E3 that I really want to talk about is the video game museum. It's the actual museum itself is in Texas, but they set this up every year at E3, and it has a lot of really, really cool stuff about the history of gaming. They have old stand-up arcade machines. They have old consoles. Some of them you can actually play. All the stand-up arcade machines you can play. Some of the old console games you can play too. But all sorts of different stuff. Little handheld games, very weird things. I'm definitely going to put some pictures over here. They had Pitfall, the classic Pitfall, which was my favorite Atari game ever, and I loved it, and I played it all the time when I was little. And I still have my Atari, and I still have my Pitfall cartridge, and I would still be playing that if my Atari joysticks worked, but they don't, so don't play it. But they had it there, and I could play it, and that was really awesome. But, I mean, they have all sorts of little stuff. They have the old Activision or Atari patches, where if you beat the game, I think you took a picture of the screen. I don't even remember anymore because, again, that was a million years ago. You'd mail it off and they'd send you a patch. They had a bunch of those on display. They had some machines like opened up so you could see how they worked inside, the circuit boards and all that. Just a lot of really, really cool stuff. Obsolete consoles you never heard of. Very, very cool. Definitely one of my favorite parts of E3. They have it every year, but it's like tucked in a corner. In fact, my coworker, who was there all day Tuesday, he never saw it until I was like, we need to go over there, because I really like that stuff. So if you ever go to E3, make sure you look on the map and find where that is, because it is worth going to. And apparently, because it's out of the way, people do not know it exists. So definitely recommend National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas. So, E3 overall, fun experience, very crowded like most conventions. It's what you expect. Although I will say one thing, whoever does the badge pickup and the security and all that stuff for E3, like other conventions need to fucking hire them. Comic-Con, BlizzCon, TwitchCon, because it took me like 5, maybe 10 minutes to pick up my badge. I got through security immediately. Even though I had a purse with me. Very, very efficient. I was in the parking structure and then on the floor immediately. And you just don't have that at other conventions. People complain about the lines at E3 to play the game demos, but by far more than any other convention I've ever been to, I wait in the least amount of lines at E3. They have reservations that you can get for a lot of the game demos even. You can, like the Xbox store, you could order online and pick it up there, or you could order it online and have it mailed to you. Everything was just done very, very efficiently. And so in that regard, I will give E3 props. Anyway, that is my story about E3, and hope you enjoyed this update on it. If you have any questions, you can leave them below in the comments and I'll answer them like I always try to do. Yeah. Hopefully I will have an actual video game related video up in not too long. Thank you guys for watching.